Super shoes aren't necessarily very stable, so if you have stability needs, it can be a struggle to find a good race shoe. As such, here are a few releases from 2025, which I might consider racing in if I had some light stability needs. First up is the Craft Shupe Pro. So this is going to be an interesting option. The foam is fairly firm, and this is going to be kind of a standard thing that you'll see throughout a lot of these options, because these firmer foams aren't going to collapse as much or roll in, causing major overpronation. One of the things that really helps is a slightly firmer foam, as well as this cutout in the outsole, which allows kind of a more stable overall base. A classic shoe for those with some stability needs is going to be the SC Elite from New Balance. Now, this version, the V5, is going to be a little bit more narrow, so I don't think it's quite as stable as the V4, but I still think it probably is one of the best options released this year for those who want something that is a little bit firmer, yet still has some good cushion and pop. Speaking of a little bit narrow, the Brooks Hyperion Elite 4 PB specifically integrates the new DNA Gold PIBA foam into the super shoe for that fourth version. Again, it's the updated fourth version of the Hyperion Elite. This shoe has a slightly firmer version of that foam, that PB, or that PIBA, I should say. But again, because of that, it doesn't collapse that much. Now, you still get a good amount of explosiveness. I actually like this for shorter races as opposed to longer races because of the firmness. However, one thing to note is, again, it does fit a little bit narrow compared to other super shoe options on the market. Now, probably the softest shoe on this list is going to be the Hoka Rocket X3. So this is going to be a fairly stable option because it has a decently wide base plus that outsole cutout. However, the foam is going to be significantly softer and bouncier. I don't think this is going to be the fastest option on the market, and it will be a little bit more unstable than some of the others, again, because of the softer foam, but it's a pretty good balance between comfort and stability, in my opinion. Now, one more call out that I'm going to give is that oftentimes plated trainers or super trainers are going to be a little bit firmer, a little bit less aggressive, a little bit more stable. So two shoes that you could potentially check out, which I think could do well for racing as well, are the Hoka Mach X3 and the Adidas Boston 13. The Mach X3 is going to be a little bit softer, a little bit heavier as well, and maybe lack some of the top end pop, but it's still going to give some decent speed. Meanwhile, the Boston 13, I feel like, has a lot of snap and is one of the faster plated trainers, in my opinion, on the market. However, it is fairly firm, so keep that in mind. At the end of the day, running shoes come down to personal preference, but if you're looking for some extra stability out of a shoe that is not necessarily a stability shoe, usually the midsole geometry as well as the firmness of the foam is going to kind of guide you where you should look. Hope that helps.